So good morning all. This is our second lecture over the groundwater hydrology. We have started this unit in the last lecture in the last week, and we have covered some of the bits related to the groundwater hydrology. This is the syllabus which we have discussed in a previous lecture only. I will go for quickly brushing the things those who have discussed. So groundwater is nothing but the water which occurs below the soil or below the earth surface, we can say. That is nothing but the groundwater. यानी कि जो भी पानी हमें जमीन के अंदर मिलता है, that is nothing but the groundwater. Then we had seen that the main source of the groundwater is nothing but the infiltration. That is after fulfillment of soil moisture deficiency. Then after that we have discussed the various zones. That is zone of aeration, then zone of saturation, capillary zone, intermediate zone, water zone, impermeable rock, and movement of the water in the vertical plane. Then after that, we had seen the various geological formations, that is aquifers, aquicludes, aquitars, aquifluge, perched aquifer, etc. So aquifer is nothing but the formation or a geological formation rather, which contains the water, and at the same time it eats the water when we will start the pumping through it. म्हणजे जमिनीमधला असा भाग, जमिनीमधला म्हणजे अर्थ जब पृथ्वीमधला आतमधला म्हणतो मी गाभाऱ्यातला असा पोर्शन की ज्याच्यामध्ये पाणी धरून ठेवण्याची ही क्षमता आहे, आणि पाणी ज्याच्यामध्ये आपण जर का पंपिंग केलं, बोरवेल जर केला तर त्याच्यामधून पाणी बाहेर सोडण्याची क्षमता आहे. दॅट इज नथिंग बट द ॲक्विफर. Then we had seen that for a good aquifer, the unconsolidated deposits of soil and gravel are the best materials. Then we had seen that confined and unconfined aquifer. For confined aquifer, we had seen that its upper boundary and lower boundary are nothing but the highly impervious materials, and the water inside it is always under the pressure. That is a piezometric head we had seen. It is to have its recharge point at a large distance from it, and it joins somewhere else to the soil surface, and the well penetrating inside it is considered as an artesian well. Then unconfined aquifer, whose lower boundary is always a highly impervious material or a highly impervious strata, and its upper boundary is nothing but the groundwater table. जो काही जमिनीमधलं जे पाण्याची पातळी असणार आहे ती नेहमी त्याची अप्पर बाउंड्री असते, आणि लोअर बाउंड्री जी असते ती हार्ड स्ट्राटा असतो. आणि त्या हार्ड स्ट्राटाच्या खाली पुन्हा काही डेप्थला गेल्यानंतर ना अप टू द मीटर्स अँड किलोमीटर्स we used to get another water body. That another water body is considered as a confined water body, that is a confined aquifer. Then the well inside the unconfined aquifer is called or is considered as an artesian well or the phreatic well. Then we had seen the aquiclude, which contains the large quantity but doesn't transmit. Its example as a clay. Aquitard, which contains the water but from which only seepage is possible. It's a highly impermeable, and sandy clay is an example of this aquitard through which only seepage is possible. Aquifluge doesn't contain, doesn't transmit. That is a black rock, we can say. There is another example is a solid granite rock without any textures. Those are the sketches we had discussed last time. Then we had seen the leaky aquifer, perched aquifer, water table, etc., etc., and we had seen the various properties of aquifers also. There is a specific rotation, permeability, then a transmissivity T. So transmissivity or transmissibility T is nothing but the product of hydraulic conductivity K and the thickness of aquifer B or H it may be. Some of the times, if you are considering the cross section, in that case the vertical height is considered as a thickness of the aquifer, because length is horizontal, and in that case width is also along the horizontal direction. But in a 3D, if you go for x direction, this will be the length, then perpendicular to it towards our side is nothing but the width, and its a height or a thickness is considered as a vertical one, and sometimes it is considered as a height h also. So the transmissivity or transmissibility is nothing but the product of hydraulic conductivity and the B, that is the thickness or width of aquifer, we can say. Then we have discussed the Darcy's law, which says that the velocity of the flow through the aquifer is directly proportional to the hydraulic gradient. That is the slope, we can say, hydraulic slope, we can say, which is nothing but the once again a vertical distance to the horizontal distance only. And vertical distance we had considered as an height, whereas a horizontal distance we have considered as an length. So that we had seen, and we have given it as a negative sign. Why negative sign? Because whenever we are moving away from our main pumping well, in that case the head is to go on decreasing and decreasing. That is then after that we have seen the started for the groundwater movement, and I think so we have seen some of the parameters related to the groundwater movement. Now we will see them in details. First, so suppose that this is an aquifer. It may be the confined or it may be unconfined. Here I have considered as an unconfined aquifer, and this is the well which has been dug inside it. हा एक अनकन्फाइंड ॲक्विफर आहे, म्हणजे त्याची लोअर बाउंड्री जी असणार आहे ती इम्परवियस असणार आहे आणि अप्पर बाउंड्री जी असणार आहे तो ग्राउंड वॉटर टेबल असणार आहे त्या ॲक्विफरचा, आणि वरच्या साईडला आपल्याला ही जमीन दिसते. सो दिस इज अ सॉइल सरफेस और ग्राउंड सरफेस वी कॅन से, अँड इनसाइड इट द वेल हॅज बीन डग, जी तो विहीर खोदलेली आहे, जिचा जो डायमीटर जो आहे त्या डायमीटर इज ट्वाइस RW. दिस RW इज द रेडियस ऑफ द वेल. And this arrow indicates that at a constant rate, at a constant discharge, we can say the well is getting pumped. म्हणजे विहिरीमधून पाणी कॉन्स्टंट रेट घेऊन पंप केलं जात आहे. तर जर का आपण ऑब्झर्वेशन्स केले, यू विल ऑब्झर्व द थिंग्स फ्रॉम द बिगिनिंग ऑफ द पंप और फ्रॉम द स्टार्ट ऑफ द पंप. Initially, the water level is to have at this portion, because this is we have indicated here as a groundwater table. So this level indicates the groundwater level inside the well, and after beginning of the pumping from the well, that water level inside the well goes on reducing and reducing. That nothing but the depletion of the water level occurs. But when we start the pumping the water from the well, जब हम कुएं से पानी बाहर निकलना शुरू करते हैं, तो क्या होता है, जो एडजेसेंट का जो उसका मटेरियल रहता है, एक्विफर रहता है, एक्विफर का मटेरियल रहता है, उसमें से पानी वो हमारे कुएं में आना स्टार्ट होता है. यानी कि क्या होता है, जब पानी यहाँ से हम बाहर निकलना शुरू करते हैं तब साइड्स का जो सॉइल सरफेस रहता है उसमें से पानी उसके अंदर आना शुरू होता है. लेकिन क्या होता है, जो साइड का सरफेस होता है उसमें से पानी इमीडिएटली आता है, फास्टली आता है. लेकिन जो उसके उससे जो वाटर जो रहता है वो बहुत दूरी पे रहता है. कहाँ से, सेंटर पॉइंट से, यानी कि द वाटर व्हिच इज देयर एट अ डिस्टेंस, लार्ज डिस्टेंस फ्रॉम द सेंटर ऑफ द वेल, इट टेक्स सम टाइम टू मूवमेंट. सो यू विल ऑब्जर्व दैट डिप्लेशन ऑफ द वाटर इन द सराउंडिंग सॉइल. जर का आपण सराउंडिंग सॉइल मधल्या जर का पाण्याच्या पातळीचा जर का अभ्यास बघितला किंवा ते ऑब्झर्व केलं तर त्याच्यामध्ये असं आढळतं की जी सराउंडिंग किंवा जवळची जी माती असते किंवा जवळच्या त्या विहिरीच्या नियर बाय रिजन मध्ये जी काही ॲक्विफर असणार आहे त्याच्यामधलं पाणी सुरुवातीला म्हणजे लगेच इमिडिएटली त्या विहिरीमध्ये येतं, आणि जे लार्ज डायमेन्शनवरचं, लार्ज किंवा जास्त अंतरावरचं राहतं ते हळूहळू पुन्हा पुढे पुढे येत जातं. मग त्याच्यामुळे काय होतं, ड्यू टू विच विल्स टू ऑब्झर्व अ कर्व. आपल्याला तो एक कर्व दिसतो किंवा तिथे आपल्याला कोन फॉर्मेशन दिसतं. दिस इज नथिंग बट अ कोनिकल फॉर्म. Here we are finding that a funnel shape. So this is nothing but the cone, and this cone is considered as a cone of a depression. A cone of depression म्हणजे कशामुळे झाला की विहिरीमधलं पाणी आपण कंटिन्युअसली बाहेर काढल्यामुळे सराउंडिंग सॉइल मधलं जे काही पाणी होतं ते त्या विहिरीमध्ये यायला. सराउंडिंग सॉइल मधलं पाणी विहिरीमध्ये येत असताना जो सरफेस हा होता हळूहळू ड्राय व्हायला लागला. आपण जर का स्पंजचं एक्झाम्पल घेतलं, स्पंज आपण पाण्यामध्ये बुडवला आणि एखाद्या नेट वायर मेश वरती म्हणजे जाळीवरती ठेवला तर त्याच्यामध्ये पाणी हळूहळू कमी होतं आणि आपल्याला टॉप सरफेस पासून तो स्पंज हा ड्राय लागलेला दिसतो, आपल्याला जाणवतो. म्हणजेच काय, फ्रॉम द टॉप सरफेस देअर इज टू ऑकर अ डिप्लिशन ऑफ द वॉटर, And if you consider the top surface of the depletion, then it forms a cone shape. This is nothing but the cone shape. Okay, on the both the sides, this is called as a cone of depression. आणि हे पाणी खाली जात असताना काय होतं, तर डिप्लिशन होत आहे. त्याला टेक्निकल लँग्वेज मध्ये आपण ड्रॉडाऊन असं म्हणतो. So this indicates the drawdown. So drawdown is nothing but the water level at a particular time period from the original water level. That difference in a water level is nothing but the drawdown. It means from this point up to this point, this is nothing but the depleted water level, which is considered as a drawdown. For example, for the observation wells, here two observation wells are there. For this observation well, initially water level was here, and now at this time water level is somewhere else here. So this is considered as a drawdown in the observation well as a S, or you will consider as S1. Similarly for this as a S2, isn't it? Now from this, or from the area from which the water contributes or water moves laterally towards the well, that area is considered or called as an area of influence. And this point, this particular point up to this point, this particular area contributes the water to the well. त्या विहिरीमध्ये या बाउंड्री पासून ते या बाउंड्री मधला जो काही एरिया आहे, त्या एरिया मधलं पाणी डायरेक्टली विहिरीमध्ये येत आहे. So that area is considered as an area of influence. And if you consider it's a top view, in that case we will observe this as a circular one. In a top view we will observe this as a circular one, because this is a cross-sectional view. Until cross-sectional view we can say. In a top view it will indicate the diameter circle, and these two boundaries from this to this, it indicates the diameter of that influenced area. It means that from the center of the pumping well to this point is nothing but the radius of influence. And जो भी influenced area रहेगा, उसका जो half of the diameter लिया, that is nothing but the radius of influence. So वो कहाँ से रहेगा? From the point from which the depletion starts to the center of the well. This is nothing but the radius of influence. Okay. Now we will see the parameters which we have discussed now. Rather, we will summarize them. So cone of depression, firstly, this is nothing but the cone of depression which we have discussed. We will now see in details, technical language. With a continuous pumping of water from a well, यानी कि with a continuous pumping, यानी कि हमने क्या किया अभी, continuously water हमारा जो well है उसमें से बाहर निकलना शुरू कर दिया है. So with that continuous pumping from a well at a constant rate, यानी कि जो हमारा discharge था, that discharge is a constant. The water level starts lowering with a proceeding of pumping. Means the water level inside the well starts the lowering, यानी कि क्या हो गया, नीचे नीचे जाना शुरू हो गया. Okay, due to the continuously pumping, and which results in, due to the radial flow into the well, यानी कि at the same time there is a radial flow inside the well, the water table obtains a conical shape. That water table which was there as a horizontal, now it obtains a conical shape. That conical shape is called as a cone of depression. So this is nothing but now the cone of depression. Then the next one I had seen, that is a drawdown. So drawdown is nothing but the drop in a water table elevation at any point from its previous static level. So we will consider this as an observation main well or pumping well. We can say that in that case, initially water level was at this point, and now the water level as at particular time is at this position. It means that whatever the difference in original water level and the current water level is there, means total initially was a capital H. Okay, and now right now only this much is there. So if you subtract this water level, whatever water level from the bottom surface, from the original water level, whatever the quantity which will obtain, that is the height of the water we will obtain, is nothing but the drawdown. Okay, I will give you a simple example of that. Simple language. Then the radius of influence. So radius of influence is nothing but the radial extent of an area of influence is termed as a radius of influence. It means that whatever the radial influence means from the area from which that water is getting influenced or drawdown is going to occur, or the depletion of the water level is going to occur, that particular radial influence is considered as a radius of the influence. Whereas the area of influence is nothing but the areal extent of a cone of depression. Areal extension or extent of a cone of depression means from this point to this point. This particular area is nothing but the area of a influence. Those are the basic terms which are required in the further derivation part and the numericals. Okay, this is about an basic terminologies related to the groundwater movement, that is cone of depression, then drawdown, radius of influence, and area of influence. Now, next part will start for the groundwater movement, that is the hydraulics of a well under steady flow conditions in a confined and unconfined aquifers. It means that in a previous lecture we had seen that the velocity of the water in the aquifers is so less. That's why we are considering that the flow is a laminar flow and the governing equation is the velocity numbers, we can say. So we are assuming that the flow is a steady flow and we are going to apply that condition for the well penetrating in a confined aquifer and well penetrating in a unconfined aquifer. यानी कि जब हमारा जो कुआं रहेगा, जो बोरवेल रहेगा या ओपन वेल रहेगा, वो कंफाइंड एक्विफर में कंफाइंड एक्विफर तक ही लिमिटेड है, तब उसमें से जो डिस्चार्ज आ रहा है वो डिस्चार्ज वो वेरियस पैरामीटर्स यानी कि रेडियस ऑफ इन्फ्लुएंस, कोन ऑफ डिप्रेशन, ड्रॉडाउन, इसको कैसे रिलेट रहता है, एंड एट द सेम टाइम व्हेन इट इज under the unconfined aquifer how the parameters are getting correlated, that we are going to see now. Now for the both the cases, that is for movement of the groundwater inside the confined and unconfined aquifer, that is well in confined aquifer and unconfined aquifers, we would have some assumptions, and those assumptions are common for both the cases. यानी कि यदि हमारा बोरवेल कंफाइंड एक्विफर में है और अनकंफाइंड एक्विफर में है, तो दोनों के लिए, दोनों केसेस के लिए जो assumptions है वो assumptions हमारे सेम रहेंगे रादर हियर आफ्टर। और उसमें से क्या क्या अज्यूम किया जाता है वो हम देखेंगे अभी। पहला जो assumption है वो क्या कहता है, द फ्लो इज हॉरिजॉन्टल, यानी कि जब हम बोरवेल डग करेंगे एक्विफर में, तब एक्विफर में से जो पानी आएगा बोरवेल में या डगआउट वेल में या ओपन वेल में, that water will have a flow in a horizontal direction and it is uniformly distributed in a vertical section. यानी कि जो भी वाटर वो कुएं में आएगा उसका जो हॉरिजॉन्टल मूवमेंट जो रहेगा वो हॉरिजॉन्टल, यानी कि उसका जो मूवमेंट है वो प्योरली हॉरिजॉन्टल रहेगा and its distribution in a vertical plane will be uniform. This is a first one. Then the second assumption says that the velocity of the flow is proportional to the tan of hydraulic gradient. अभी tan of hydraulic gradient यानी कि क्या, tan of the something, it means that it is nothing but the slope. So that v is proportional to the tan theta, means a slope. It means that it is talking about an Darcy's law. Okay, it is nothing but the Darcy's law, that is v is equals to ki, or v is directly proportional to I, that is a hydraulic gradient. And if we introduce there as a constant of proportionality, in that case it is nothing but the v is equals to ki. Okay, then the next assumption is the well is pumped at a constant rate, यानी कि whatever the rate of pumping is there, or whatever the rate at which we are taking water from that well is a constant, or we are taking the water at a constant rate, so that there will be no further or excessive to draw down, we can say. Then the well fully penetrates in the aquifer. It means that if you are talking about an aquifer completely So whenever we are considering that well is dug inside an aquifer, that aquifer may be confined or unconfined. In that case, the well penetrates completely inside it, isn't it? Then, apart from all those things, there is another one that we are assuming that the aquifer body or whatever the material of aquifer is there, or rather aquifer is there, is a homogeneous. Aquifer is a homogeneous and it's a horizontal, it is in a horizontal direction, and its a dimension along x-axis, that is horizontal direction, is infinite. Means its extent in the x-axis is infinite. It means that though a number of times we used to say that we have dug a well, we got a water to eat, but after some time the another person who used to go for digging a well, and water level inside our well now gets डिप्लीटेड, यानी कि जो भी वाटर हमारे कुएं में, बोरवेल में या वेल में आ रहा था वो कम हो जाता है, और वो कहाँ पे जाता है, दूसरे के वेल पे जाता है। यानी कि इसका मतलब क्या हो गया, जो वाटर हमारे बोरवेल में आया था पहले, यानी कि जो एक्वीफर में आया था, यदि दूसरा बोरवेल और वेल उसी एक्वीफर में गया, तो जो पानी हमारे एक्वीफर में आ रहा था उसमें से कुछ पानी वो दूसरे के बोरवेल में जाता है। It means that the extent, that is horizontal extent of that aquifer is so long. That is a practical example I have quoted over here. Then the water is supplied to the aquifers, यानी कि जब भी हम उसमें से बोरवेल में से या वेल में से पानी बाहर निकलना शुरू कर देते हैं, तो क्या होता है, उसमें से वाटर लेवल डिप्लीट होना शुरू हो जाता है। तो जो वाटर लेवल डिप्लीट होना शुरू हो जाता है, तब क्या होता है, वो धीरे धीरे नीचे जाता है। सो यहाँ पे क्या किया जाता है, we are assuming that when that water level due to the pumping is going on a depleting and depleting, in that case we are going to add the water to that same, यानी कि उसी एक्वीफर को हम वाटर ऐड करने का है। कहाँ से, from the storage. It means that water is supplied to the aquifer immediately from the storage when the drop in water table or piezometric head occurs. यानी कि यदि हमारा जो वेल है वो अनकन्फाइंड एक्वीफर में है तो वाटर टेबल डिप्लीट होगा, और यदि वो कन्फाइंड एक्वीफर में है तो piezometric हेड कम होता जाएगा। सो उसको मेंटेन करने के लिए क्या करना पड़ेगा हमें, we have to add or we have to supply the water to that aquifer, so that whatever the equations we are going to derive, whatever the relationships we are going to derive, those relations will not have any deviations in them. That is the idea behind that. Okay, so those are the some of the assumptions, common assumptions, which are applicable, or which along with them only, or by considering their base, the derivations has been derived. Now we'll start for the derivations. Firstly, we'll consider the well penetrating completely inside a unconfined aquifer. Okay, so we'll consider the first case A, that is a hydraulics of well under steady flow condition in an unconfined aquifer. It is that when that well is penetrating in an unconfined aquifer, then how discharge is getting correlated. Draw the sketch firstly. Here, this is the pumping well, through which this arrow indicates the Q, capital Q, that is a rate of a pumping. We can say constant rate of a pumping. Then RW, small rw is nothing but the radius of a pumping well, RW. Then here we have two observation wells. This is the first one and this is a second one. We have considered the first observation well is at a radial distance small r1 from our main well or the pumping well, and at the same time the second well is situated at a radial distance of small r2 from the pumping well. So from the center line this is r2, and from center line this is r1. Then the drawdown in the main pumping well, this is indicated as S suffix W. S stands for drawdown, W stands for water level, that is SW for the pumping well I have intentionally considered over here. Then this is the water level in the pumping well, and this is the height of water, HW, small hw is the height of water in the pumping well. So pumping well is having the dimensions as a RW radius, HW height of the water from the hard strata, that is a impervious strata we can say, because here we are considered that the well is completely penetrating in a unconfined aquifer, and we are going to derive the equation for a steady flow to the well in an unconfined aquifer. Then initial water level, that is original water table, is what it was at this level. So due to the pumping through the pumping well, the water level has been got depleted up to this point, and that depletion is indicated as a drawdown SW. Then this indicates the cone of depression or depletion curve we can say to the left hand side. This indicates the cone of depression towards the right hand side. Then the water level in the observation well number 1 from the impervious strata is indicated as H suffix 1, height 1 we can say. Height of the water level inside the observation well number 1, that is H1, and drawdown in the same, there is a depletion of the water level from the original water table. Inside that is nothing but the S suffix 1. Similarly, for the second well, the water level is indicated as H2, that is a water height we can say, that is H2, and the drawdown in the same is indicated as S2. Here the drawdown we are finding at the source because it is at a higher distance from the main observation well. Okay, so here we can say with the increase in a radial distance or radial extent we can say the depletion of the drawdown is so less, or contribution of the water towards the main well is less we can say. But it is going to increase now, further decrease in a water level or further increase in a drawdown in the pumping well. Then we have assumed that the H, that is a thickness we can say, or the height we can say, or the width we can say of a aquifer at a radial distance R. It is radial distance, capital R means nothing but the radius of influence we can say. So capital R indicates the radius of influence, and at the radius of influence, whatever the water table height is there, or the aquifer thickness we can say, because this is a cross section. So we are going to assume it as a thickness, that is a capital H over here, or the simply we will consider as a little H. Then at some time t, or at a certain point over the cone of depression at a radial distance a small r from the main water level, we are assuming that its height is elevation is a small h. So small h means nothing but the water level at the certain time interval t from the main well at a radial distance r. So x distance is a r and y distance is a h here. There is the parameters we can say. Okay, so now we start for the derivation part with respect to whatever the assumptions we had over here. So firstly, consider the sketch of the well completely penetrating inside an unconfined aquifer. Select the radius of the well as a RW, the pumping well as a RW, and the constant rate of a pumping as a small cube meter cube per second. Then the length of let the depth of a flow at any radial distance r as h, and depth of the flow towards the well at a radial distance r is assumed as an h. And if you consider this section, this is at a radial distance r, where which is having an height h. It is nothing but the conical shape. We are finding that this is a cylindrical shape we can say. So for this we can say the whatever the water is going to pass towards the well, that is in a radial direction. So area at this particular section is nothing but the 2 pi RH or a pi d, that is circumference into the height we can say. So as usual. So the area of flow at this section means which section? At this section. Here height of the water depth is h and radial distance is r. The area of the flow at this section is nothing but the 2 pi RH or a pi dh. D is nothing but the diameter of the area of sorry, influence means this will be the R, and at the same time here this will be the R. So here will be somewhere else H will be there, and at a distance R will be there. So we have considered the area of the influence as a 2 pi R H. Then we are knowing the Darcy's law. So as per the Darcy's law, we are taking the help of the Darcy's law because we have assumed that, or we are knowing that whatever the flow is there to the aquifers or the soils, we can say those flows are governed by the Darcy's equation. That is, the velocity of the flow is directly proportional to the hydraulic gradient, isn't it? So the equation is P is equals to Ki. Now we are knowing that discharge Q is equals to area into velocity. So going for that now, and here if you consider the I, that is a hydraulic gradient I, then that I is nothing but the hydraulic gradient and nothing but the hydraulic slope, we can say. That is a, in mathematical language we can say y by x is a slope, or dy by dx, isn't it? So if you consider here, we have assumed that the area is at a radial distance of r, where the height is h, means the y is nothing but the small h and x is nothing but the small r, isn't it? For an incremental value, we will consider the I as a, for the incremental value of the I, we'll consider R as a dr, that is suffix, sorry, small we can say, and h as a dh. It means that I will be nothing but dh by dr. Okay, so now just put up the value of the dh I in the equation of the velocity. So we will have the equation for the velocity as P is equals to K into dh by dr, isn't it? Therefore, velocity V is equals to K into dh by dr. Why I have considered dh and dr? Because I assume that there is a so small incremental parameter, we can say, or incremental value, we can say. Then for a discharge, if you want to relate now that for the discharge Q, that is a steady flow, we can say, then we are knowing Q is equals to area into velocity. Q is equals to area into, that is the continuity equation, we can say. So just put up the value of the V over here, and the A, P is nothing but K into dh by dr, and A is nothing but the 2 pi RH. So it implies Q is equals to A into velocity. Firstly, I have put it as a K into dh by dr, and now A as 2 pi RH. So equation becomes Q is equals to 2 pi RH, that is the area, into the velocity is nothing but the K into dh by dr. Just I have tried to have a simplified form over here. From where I have started, I have taken the base of the Darcy's law, that is V is equals to Ki, because this is a governing equation, we can say, for the movement of the water through the soils, or the soil pores, we can say. Then for the particular velocity, we have considered the area is in a cylindrical form, and that is at a radial distance r, and here depth of water is h. So this has a 2 pi RH. So area 2 pi RH. That those values of the V and area are kept in the equation of the discharge. It is a steady flow. Q is equals to AV. So the equation we got 2 pi RH into K into dh by dr. Now we got the Q is equals to 2 pi RH into K into dh by dr, where dh and dr are nothing but the small increment parameters. So now we will have the same sketch and the equation which was derived in the previous slide, I have taken over here. Now for complete area of influence, it will be required to integrate, because this is a small parameter we have considered over here, and that will be integrated for the limits of R and H, because R at the center there is a 0, and at the periphery or area of the influence or the point of influence, it will be capital R, and the H will be HW at the main vein or pumping vein, and it will be capital H at the one of the depression, we can say. So we'll rearrange that for the R and H, means taking the terms of the R towards the one side and H towards the another side. So we'll take now terms of the r towards the left hand side and terms of the h towards the right hand side, or vice versa we can say. So if you take that terms related to the r towards the left hand side, then here r is multiplying this parameter, so it will be dividing here, so q by r we can say, and dr is in a denominator, so it means it will be in a numerator. So here it was r by dr, here it will be dr by r into what, 2 pi k, 2 pi into k, h will remain here as a h into dh. So 2 pi k again here is multiplying, so it will be dividing towards the left hand side, so I have written over here as 1 by 2 pi k. Simple mathematics we have used over here, that is equals to remaining parameter h and dh. Then integrating above equation with the limits, so limits will be for h and r, of r and h from the observation wells. So whatever the observation wells we have over here, we are going to take the help of them for the derivation, for having the limits. This will be upper limit, this will be lower limit, means the well which is at the maximum radial distance, it will be upper limit, and close to the pumping well we are going to consider it as a lower limit. So the limit for r will be from r1 to the r2, that is r will be equals to small r1 to the r is equals to r2, and at the same time the h, that is a water level or water height we can say, it will be from h1, that is a well number 1 it is a h1, and for well number 2 it is h2. So lower limit will be h1 and upper limit will be h2. Now just integrate it. So integrating above equation, so we'll have the equation. I have taken the h ds to the left hand side and q term to the right hand side, or vice versa. You may take as it is. It doesn't going to hamper over our equation. काही फरक पडणार नाहीये. तुम्ही आहे तशी इक्वेशन जरी इंटिग्रेट केला तरी काही बदल होणार नाहीये. So integral of h dh, limits from h1 to the h2, upper limit h2, lower limit h1. Similarly, is equals to integral of q dr by r into 2 pi k. Limit will be for r from r1 to r2. Now from the right hand side over here, or from this side, this portion we can say, the constant terms are there in this side. So which are the constant terms? Q 2 pi k are the constant terms. So we'll take those terms outside, that is q by 2 pi k. So remaining will be dr by r, means r is a variable with respect to the, and it will be integrated with respect to the dr. Whereas for this case, the h is a variable and it is going to integrate to the dh. So integration of h to the dh will be h square by 2, h square by 2 with the limit of h1 to the h2. The boundary conditions we can say h1 to the h2 is equals to constant terms I have taken out of the same. It is a q upon 2 pi k, and remaining terms integral of dr by r. So dr by r is remain only, and its limit is from r1 to the r2. Now we are knowing that the integration of integration of x with respect to the 1 by x with respect to the dx is nothing but the log x, or integration of dy with respect to the dy, that is a dy by y we can say is a log y. So similarly, so dr by r will be log r. To the base 10 if you consider, then it will be multiplied by 2.303. Instead of that, we will consider it as ln. So the first here it will be the ln r, that is a natural logarithm r, with the boundary conditions from r1 to the r2. And here I have used the boundary conditions, that is h2 upper limit, h as upper limit h2, it's a square, minus lower limit as h1, it's a square, divided by 2 is equals to q upon 2 pi k into integral of dr by r as ln r, with the limits of r1 to the r2. Now putting those limits of r1 to the r2, it implies h2 square minus h1 square by 2 is equals to q upon 2 pi k into ln of R2, that is upper limit minus lower limit, that is a ln R2 minus ln R1. Natural logarithm we have considered over here, which implies, means for which I have considered simplified for this term only. Now we are knowing that. That is log x minus log y is nothing but the log of x upon y, isn't it? So here ln of R2 minus ln of R1, it means that ln R2 by R1. So simplifying this term, we get q upon 2 pi k as it is into ln of R2 by R1. Just I have simplified it and I did nothing than this. क्लियर? म्हणजे आपण स्टार्ट कुठून केला, जे आपलं हे जे इक्वेशन होतं मिळालेलं त्याला आपण इंटिग्रेट केलं. हमने उसको इंटीग्रेट किया. कैसे इंटीग्रेट किया? जो यहाँ पे वेरिएबल कौन था हमारा, h और r था, क्योंकि q जो था हमारा स्टेडी फ्लो है, कांस्टेंट है, वो वेरी नहीं हो रहा है. सो वेरी कौन हो रहा है, जब हम कांस्टेंट डिस्चार्ज q से पंपिंग कर रहे हैं तब ये जो हाइट है, वाटर का हाइट है, वो कम होता जा रहा है, isn't it? ओके. और जो हमारे ऑब्जर्वेशंस वेल है उनका जो लिमिट है वो R1 और R2 है. यदि हमने वो कोन ऑफ डिप्रेशन का लिमिट लिया तो डायरेक्टली वो R कहां से वेरी होगा, RW, यानी कि हमारा पंपिंग वेल से डायरेक्टली उसका एरिया ऑफ इन्फ्लुएंस जो रहेगा, रेडियल एक्सटेंट जो रहेगा इन्फ्लुएंसिंग का, वो कैपिटल R तक रहेगा. यानी कि वेरिएबल कौन हो गया हमारा, h और r हो गया. So we have integrated the equation with the limits of h and r here, isn't it? And after simplifying it, we got the equation as h2 square minus h1 square upon 2 is equals to q upon 2 pi k ln of r2 by r1, isn't it? Now we'll start from the simplification again. Now we want to have the derivation in terms of the q. Okay, so in terms of the q, now how we will get, this is an equation which we have derived in the previous slide. Now simplifying it for a q, so q into ln r2 by r1, I have taken this 2 pi k towards this side, so q into ln r2 by r1 is equals to h2 square minus h1 square by 2 into 2 pi k, because 2 pi k was there in a denominator, now it will be in a numerator, 2 pi into k. Why I did so? Because we are knowing that k into h is nothing but the thickness, isn't it? Hydraulic conductivity rather. Hydraulic conductivity k, transmissivity T is equals to k into h is there. So here we have the h. So we have taken this k towards this side, so that we will get. Now how to simplify this? It is a h2 square minus h1 square into k. Now in a simplified form, now by taking ln, that is a logarithmic term, towards the right hand side, we have the equation as q is equals to pi into k. Because this 2 will get cancelled now. This 2 and this 2 will get cancelled. So what else remain? Pi k h2 square minus h1 square divided by ln of r2 by r1. समझ में आया क्या किया यहाँ पे? जो ln का टर्म था, लॉगरिथमिक टर्म जो था यहाँ पे r2 by r1, ये यहाँ पे q को मल्टीप्लाई कर रहा था. सो जब वो राइट साइड में आएगा तो क्या होगा, डिनोमिनेटर में जाएगा, डिवाइड करेगा. और ये जो 2 था यहाँ पे, एक न्यूमरेटर में है, डिनोमिनेटर में है, सो दैट विल गेट कैंसल्स टू ईच अदर. So remaining term will be pi k h2 square minus h1 square divided by ln of r2 by r1, isn't it? Now we'll start for simplifying it. That is, now we will consider at the edge of a radius of influence r. At the edge of a radius of influence r, here it is from this point to this point. This is a edge. Here we are finding that. At that point, the thickness of the aquifer, that is saturated thickness, means all the soil particles or the aquifer material is saturated by the water. Its thickness is h, isn't it? Its thickness is h, we can say. Here I have considered h, or we may consider it as a width. That is h. So now if you consider that, then the boundary condition will be, then at this location we can say the boundary condition will be r from RW, that is from main pumping well, that is R, from main pumping well as RW to the edge of the radius of influence, it will be capital R. And at the same time H will be वाटर का हेड कहां से रहेगा, HW यानी कि मेन पंपिंग वेल का लोअर लिमिट, और अपर लिमिट क्या रहेगा, कैपिटल H रहेगा. So that is and HW to H. So those will be boundary conditions. How we have taken understood. कशा पद्धतीने आपण घेतला, जर का आपण रेडियस ऑफ इन्फ्लुएन्स ची एज कन्सिडर केली म्हणजे आउटर एज इथपर्यंत आहे, तर आपली रेडियसला लिमिट काय राहणार होता, एक म्हणजे व्ही ची रेडियस RW लोअर लिमिट असणार आणि अपर लिमिट काय असणार, तर कॅपिटल R असणार. मॅक्सिमम रेडियस ऑफ इन्फ्लुएन्स वी कॅन से. आणि जी वॉटर लेवल जी असणार आहे ती वॉटर लेवल मेन पंपिंग वेल मधली किती HW लोअर लिमिट आणि अपर लिमिट काय असणार, इथलं कॅपिटल H एवढं असणार. सो नाउ पुटिंग दोस थिंग्स ओव्हर हियर, then we will have the equation as like this. We will have the equation like this. Q is equals to, therefore Q is equals to pi k as it is. Now instead of the H2 means this second well which was at a distance of R2, instead of that what we have considered, we have considered this total radial extent, that is a capital R. Here the height of the water is a capital H, isn't it? So this is a capital H square minus HW square, that is the lower limit as a height of the water in the main pumping well. It is H square minus HW square divided by ln of, instead of R2 now there will be capital R, and instead of R1 there will be the RW. So ln of R by RW will be there. So likewise we have simplified it, because in the numericals number of the times we come across such conditions. So in those cases we must know the things. यदि हमने यहाँ पे हमारा ऑब्जर्वेशन वेल जो है और टाइम पीरियड के लिए हमने R1 लिया होता, यानी कि मेन पंपिंग वेल और ऑब्जर्वेशन वेल नंबर 1 लिया होता, तो लिमिट क्या रहता हमारा, RW to R1 और HW to H1 रहता. Okay, so likewise as per the conditions we have to do that. Then if a drawdown, that is SW in a pumping well is considered, यानी कि ड्रॉडाउन क्या था, वाटर लेवल डिप्लीशन, यानी कि ओरिजिनल वाटर लेवल और एक्चुअल वाटर लेवल एट अ सर्टेन टाइम, यानी कि जब हम पानी बाहर निकलना शुरू करें, पंपिंग स्टार्ट किया है, तो क्या हुआ, जो वाटर लेवल था वेल में वो कम होता गया, वो डिप्लीट होता गया, और आफ्टर सर्टेन टाइम एट ऑब्जर्वेशन टाइम वी हैव फाउंड दैट वाटर लेवल इज एट दिस पोजीशन. सो दैट एलिवेशन डिफरेंस बिटवीन द टू वाटर लेवल्स is considered as SW, that is a drawdown. So if drawdown in a pumping well is considered, then this drawdown will be equals to, यानी कि A drawdown क्या रहेगा, capital H is a total height minus HW, that is a water level in the well रहेगा. That is SW is equals to capital H minus HW, isn't it? So now we'll simplify the same. By considering that is H square minus HW square, now we are simplifying this. So K into H square minus HW square, because K into H, K is the hydraulic conductivity and T is the thickness we have considered. So K into T, that will be the transmissivity we can say. So for introducing that term transmissivity T, we are simplifying it. So K into H square minus HW square. So we are knowing that expanding it, that is A square minus B square is equals to A minus B into A plus B. That is H minus HW into H plus HW into K. Now if you multiply and divide it by 2, just for a simplification purpose, then it implies 2 times K into H plus HW by 2 into H minus HW. Now if you consider this term, which term? This term, that is 2K into H plus HW by 2. What does it indicates? H is this one, HW is this water level. We are adding that and we are taking the average of the same. It means that this is nothing but the average thickness of an aquifer T. This is nothing but the average thickness of an aquifer T at a time interval T we can say. यानी कि जहाँ पे जब हमने ऑब्जर्वेशन किया तब उसी टाइम के लिए क्या रहेगा, दिस विल बी ऑब्जर्वेशन एवरेज थिकनेस, because h is we have considered as a thickness at a radial influence of r, isn't it? And hw is nothing but the water level at a radial influence of rw. So we have taken the average of them, so it indicates the average thickness of a aquifer T. Understood? Now just put that value. So we will have in the next slide we will go for, so k into h square minus hw square will be equals to 2 times t into h minus hw, because we have replaced now this h plus hw. H plus hw into k upon 2 we have replaced by a t, multiplying factor as it is I have considered as a 2, because in the previous slide we had seen over here. Here I will show you once again. Here this is a 2 into h minus hw is remained, and what we have considered k into h plus hw by 2. So this is a 2 multiplying factor. So 2 into h minus hw we have considered over here, isn't it? So k into h square minus hw square is equals to, instead of h minus hw there will be a 2 times t into h minus hw will be there. Now h minus hw we are knowing that is a drawdown, that is capital H minus small hw is a drawdown. So it will be 2t into sw, that is a drawdown, that is a 2t sw. What we did over here, just introduced the term average thickness of the aquifer, by from that we have considered as a transmissivity t over here, t transmissivity t, k into h as a transmissivity t we can consider over here, and then the drawdown term from h minus hw. So this is nothing but 2 times t into sw. Now put in our equation. So q into pi k h square minus hw square upon ln r by rw implies, now we are going to use the value of k into h square minus hw square, which is nothing but twice the tsw. So it will be pi k, instead of k into h square minus hw square it will be 2 tsw. So that is 2 pi tsw upon ln r by rw. Have you got the point how we did? We have just introduced, replaced this term k into h square minus hw square by 2t sw. So we got the term as a 2t sw into pi. So pi I have taken it to the left hand side. So twice pi t sw upon ln r by rw is there. Or if we simplify again, if we will simplify it again, then by considering the drawdowns in the observation space, that is observation well number 1 and observation well number 2, then in that case the drawdown in the observation well S1, this is the S1 and this is the total height capital H. So S1 will be capital H minus H1. Please see how it comes to be. S1 is the drawdown in the observation well number 1. This is well number 1. So for well number 1, drawdown S1 will be equals to capital H, this total height minus small h1. So H minus h1, and S2, this drawdown here, this small drawdown, this will be equals to capital H minus small h2. Capital H minus small h2. Then introducing those terms over there in our previous equation, then we will have the equation as 2 pi t into s2 minus s1 divided by ln of r2 by r1, isn't it? So by putting those values we will get the equation as q is equals to 2 pi t into, instead of the drawdown in the main observation well, in the previous equation if you put up the things, then we will get s2 minus s1 divided by ln of r2 by R1 is there, isn't it? So this is about a simplified form of an steady discharge or steady flow through a well when it is getting inserted inside the unconfined aquifer. Okay. Now we'll start for the part of examples. Okay. Have you completed up to this? I hope so. You have all of you have completed up to this part, so that we'll start for the example. A well with a radius of 0.5 meter completely penetrates an unconfined aquifer of a thickness 50 meter. यानी कि यहाँ पे क्या दिया है हमें? There is a one well, उसका जो डायमीटर है, उसका जो रेडियस है वो 0.5 मीटर है, and it completely penetrates an unconfined aquifer. यानी कि lower boundary will be hard strata, upper boundary will be a water table. whose thickness means thickness यानी कि क्या रहेगा? जो water level जो रहेगा, that thickness h water table height we can say that is a 50 meter, and hydraulic conductivity K is a 30 meters per day. Okay, then the well is pumped so that the water level in the well remains at a 40 meter above the bottom. यानी कि क्या दिया है हमें? The well is pumped at a constant rate. क्योंकि discharge जो है वो constant है, so that the water level remains 40 meter above the bottom. यानी कि जो aquifer रहेगा, aquifer का जो bottom यानी कि hard strata रहेगा, उसके above जो water level रहेगी वो 40 meters रहेगी. यानी कि HW जो है वो 40 meter दिया है. Assuming that the pumping has essentially no effect on a water table. यानी कि beyond that there is no depletion of the water table at a distance of 500 meter. यानी कि जो एरियल एक्सटेंशन रहेगा, जहां से पानी अंदर आएगा, यानी कि वहां पे जो इन्फ्लुएंसिंग एरिया है उसका रेडियल एक्सटेंट दिया है 500 meters. What is asked? What is a steady stable discharge? It is a steady state discharge, and it was asked for a 5 marks in May 16. It is a simplified form one. We'll go for the sketch of it. I have not drawn the sketch, so we'll see that. Firstly, note down the things, and after completion of the noting, please do tell me, so that we'll start for the solution part. Firstly, we'll try to understand what is given and what is asked to calculate. So here what they had given, radius of the well is given 0.5 meters. Then thickness of the aquifer, it is given as 50 meters. Then K is given, that is a 30 meters per day. Then HW water level in the pumping well is a 40 meter, and radius of influence R as a 500 meters. So it has asked to calculate a discharge Q. Okay, so firstly I will write the given data. Radius of well 0.5 meter, aquifer thickness as a T or H, whatever it may be, as per our assumption, what we are going to have a symbol for that. That is a T or it may be H, that is a 50 meters thickness. Then K is a 30 meters per day. Height of water in the well 40 meters, and radius of influence as 500 meter, and it has been asked to calculate the discharge Q. Now which equation will be applicable over here? So we are going to apply the equation which will have the H. Okay, so we'll try to have an equation which will have the parameters including the given data. Just a minute. Where is it? Just a minute. The equation which will have the parameters, that is R, W, H, K and R, is nothing but the Q is equals to pi K H square minus HW square divided by ln R by RW. This relation we are knowing that we have just now derived it. So just put up the values now. Capital H is nothing but the 50 which is given to us. Then HW is the 40. Then R, that is the radius of influence, 500, and RW, radius of the pumping well, as 0.5. Put up the values and to tell me the answer. What answer you are waiting for there? I am waiting for the answer. It was asked in May 16 for 5 marks. Use ln. Don't go for a log. If you go for a log, then it will be required to multiply it by 2.303. Okay, so just solve it and you tell me the answer. I got the responses also. So by putting the values of a pi as a 3.14, k as a 30 meters per day, capital H as a 50, HW as a 40, and capital R 500 with the RW as a 0.5, HW as a 40, sorry, then we get the value as 12279.387. The unit will be meter cube per day because K is in a meter per day and H square, rather this term is having a meter unit. So meter square, H square is there, means meter square into meter per day means meter cube per day. And after converting to the meter cube per second, that is by dividing it by 3600 into 24, we'll get the magnitude as a 0.142 meter cube per second. Now we'll go for the next example. This was asked in May 16 for old syllabus for the 5 marks. The data is like this. A 30 centimeter well completely penetrates an unconfined aquifer of a saturated depth 40 meter. After a long period of pumping at a steady state of 150 liters per minute, here it is 150 liters per minute. I will make it as clear firstly. 150 liters per minute. The drawdown in a 2 observation wells. The drawdown in the 2 observation wells, 25 and 75 meters from the pumping well, were found to be 3.5 and 2 meters respectively. Determine the transmissivity of the aquifer. It is a T they have asked. What is the drawdown at the pumping well? Okay, then they have asked the drawdown at the pumping well, that is SW also. Okay, please note down the example fastly so that we will start for the solving the it's a solution for the solution. Example, in this example they had given the data regarding the 30 centimeter well. It means that they had given us a diameter. So whenever they doesn't mention that is the radius or diameter, in that case we have to assume it as a diameter. So diameter of well is 30 centimeter and it completely penetrates the unconfined aquifer of a saturated depth 40 meter. Means H or T they have given us, that is a 40 meter. And after a long period of pumping at a steady rate of 150 liters per minute, यानी कि जो डिस्चार्ज हम ले रहे हैं उसमें से निकाल रहे हैं पानी, वो जो रेट है that is 150 liters per minute है. The drawdown in the 2 observation wells, that is 25 and 75 meter from the pumping well, means 2 observation wells are there at a distance of 25 meter and 75 meter. We are going to assume that the well which is nearer to the main pumping well, it has a well number 1 that is at a 25 meter and another well number 2 that is at a 75 meter. The drawdowns are 3.5 meter for the 25 meter well which is close and 2 meters for a 75 meter well that is too far from the main observation well. Then they have asked to determine the transmissivity of the aquifer. It is T is equals to K into B. That is transmissivity is equals to hydraulic conductivity K into the thickness. Okay, thickness is given as 40, so we have to find out the K. And along with that, they have asked what is the drawdown at the pumping well. Okay, at the same time, what could be the magnitude of a drawdown, that is SW in the pumping well. Okay, so we'll go for The solution, firstly we will go for the sketch. I had drawn the sketch over here. I will take it somewhat towards the left hand side so that it will be visible, and at the same time I will make it as a somewhat larger, enlarged one. Okay, so now here now we are finding that this is a main pumping well. I will enlarge it just a minute. Yes, that's sufficient. Just wait for time. This is a main pumping well. You may take the sketch of the same drawing card which has been pumped at a constant rate at a Q of 150 liters per minute. यहाँ का जो कांस्टेंट रेट ऑफ पंपिंग था वो था कैपिटल Q 150 लीटर्स पर मिनट, और उन्होंने क्या दिया है, जो सैचुरेटेड वाटर डेप्थ है वो 40 मीटर यानी कि H दिया है हमें, यहाँ पे कैपिटल H एज अ 40 मीटर, यानी कि वहां से क्या होगा, ड्रॉडाउन स्टार्ट होगा. सो दिस इंडिकेट्स द ड्रॉडाउन कर्व. This is nothing but the drawdown curve, and above this will be cone of influence, and this drawdown is there, it will be there at a capital R, which is not given to us, okay, which will be required to find out. So this is a thickness, we can say that is a H as a 40 meters. Then they had given us the two observation wells. So this is a first observation well, well number 1 we will consider, and this is another second well we will consider. So for those two observation wells, they have given a radial distances. So first one is a 25 meter. So I have marked here from the center of main pumping well. It is a distance of a 25 meter. R1 25 meter, and for the second it is at a distance of R2 75 meters. So R1 first well is at a 25 meter and second well is at a 75 meters. Okay. Then the drawdowns in them. And key drawdown for a first well is a 3.5 meter. So here I have shown is a S1 drawdown in a first pumping well, S1 3.5 meter, and drawdown in the second pumping well S2 as a 2 meters. Okay, and the drawdown in the main pumping well I have shown it as a SW. Drawdown in the main pumping well I have shown it as a SW. Then the water levels in the main well, that is a pumping well, here it has been shown by H suffix W, that is height of water in a main pumping well. Then H1 is the water level in the observation well number 1. So how we will get its magnitude? How? It is a total height. कितनी total height? That is a 40 meters. People subtract the S1 3.5 from the 40. 3.5 from the 40, then we will get the height of the water in the observation well number 1, that is 36.5 meter. Similarly, for the second well, the drawdown is a 2 meter, total height is a 40 meters, water height we can say. So 40 minus 2 will be 38 meters. So H2 is known to us, H1 is known to us now, R1 is known to us, R2 is known to us. Then capital H is also known to us, and they have asked to calculate the capital Q, and at the same time they have asked to calculate the SW. Now which equation we will be required to do for? So equation यहाँ पे use करना पड़ेगा. We'll go for the part of the solution now. So given data, well radius of the well as a point 15 meter, 30 centimeter well यानी कि इसका diameter जो है वो 30 centimeters है, यानी कि 0.3 meters है. Is it correct? 30 centimeter diameter. So how many meters it will be? 0.3. Okay, और उसका आधा यानी कि 0.15 meter will be radius. Then drawdown in the well number 1, S1 2 meter. So H1 will be equals to 40 minus S1, that is 38. By mistake I had quoted here. This will be the S2. This will be S2 instead of S1. This will be S2. How I did? Might be I had considered then thereafter, that is in a different sense we can say. S2 is a 2 meters, and the same time H1 here I have quoted, this will be H2. H2 is equals to 38 meter. It was by mistake on my side. Now we got the height as a h1 by subtracting the s1 from the same as 38 meter. Then s2 is a 3 point. How it comes to be here? Yes, this is a s2 and this is a h2. H2 minus s1 will be there. H2 and this will be S2 minus H1. Yes, that will be 38 meters. Then draw down in well number 1. S1 is a 3.5. S1 is a 3.5. So we will get the H1 as a 40 minus S1, that is a 3.5, we will get 36.5 meters. Okay, then they had given us the R1 distance, that is a 25 meters, and then they had given us the R2 as a 75 meters, H as a 40 meters, Q is 150 liters per minute, so meter cube per second will be 0.025. Just do the calculation to check that. 150 liters per minute to the meter cube per minute will be required to divide by 1000. So 150 by 1000 will be 0.50. Then meter to the second, it will be once again required to divide by multiplied by 60. Just do the calculation, just check the value. Is this value is correct or wrong? It is 150 liters per minute. Okay, to the meters cube per second. Is the value is correct one? Are we? What is the answer? So by putting the value of the Q as a 0.0025, we get the value of the K as 7.8. K will go for into 10 raised to minus 6 in meters per second will be unit. 10 raised to minus 6 is there. Just to check the answer. Okay, so by getting the K, we will get the T as a K into H. Just multiplying by 40, you will get the value as a 3.13 to 10 raised to minus 4. Now the drawdown SW at the pumping well. So SW is equals to capital H minus HW, isn't it? So for getting the HW, we will use the equation Q is equals to pi K into H1 square minus HW square upon ln R1 by RW. Okay, so we'll take the help of the reference, that is a well number 1. Means we are going to use the reference of the well number 1. That is with respect to the well number 1, we are going to calculate the magnitude of a HW, isn't it? So just to put up the values over here, we will get the magnitude for HW as a 28.49 meters. Just check the answers. What are the values I do have with me? As per that, I am getting HW as a 28.49 meters, and then the SW, that is a drawdown, we can say SW is equals to H minus HW. H is a 40. Okay, so 40 minus 28.49. Its the magnitude is 11.51 meters. Okay, just do check the answers. I think so those answers are a correct one as per me. You do check the answers. Okay, so today we will stop over here, and in a next lecture we will start for remaining examples of the unconfined aquifer condition, and then we will start for the confined aquifer and its related numericals. Okay, thank you.